What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? I'm gonna go ahead and start it with this story. But first things first, you got a drink break. My landlord bought me this, so we're gonna take a sip of this Blackstone Cabernet Sauvignon. I don't know much about none of this shit, but if it's free, it's me. So drink up, and then we're gonna talk about my worst relationship ever, bro. And it was while I was in Atlanta. It actually comes close to one of my other relationships. I'm lying, it doesn't. So, where do we start? So, I told y'all yesterday, or maybe the day before, that I told you about my jobs: Chipotle, Walmart, Home Depot, IT, and then my other Home Depot job. But I didn't actually go into detail about my IT job with Home Depot. That's because it has a lot of layers. That's why I named this the worst relationship ever. Because I see why people touch mics and shit all the time. The reason why I did that because it has a lot of layers. And how do I say this? We started off in training, and I told y'all about a guy named Xavier. And Xavier was from New York. And he's kind of what jump-started this a little bit. So like I said, we're in training, and basically the way Home Depot's campus is set up is you swipe your badge, you go through a sliding door to security, you say what up to security, you swipe your badge again, you take a left. It's like a call center for 40 desks, maybe 30, something like that. And all of them are not filled up. So we're all IT, level 1, level 2, whatever the case is, taking phone calls. I'm in training. I'm homeless still. Remember, I've been homeless since the end of July. And this is the end of June. And this is the end of July. So I was probably homeless for about a month now. And I did have a place waiting on me. So anyway, this is going to run into a little bit of yesterday. But I told y'all yesterday that I was staying with a guy named Vic, but he lied and kicked me out of his house. I would have respected it more if he just kicked me out rather than coming up with some bullshit lie. I couldn't whoop his ass like I wanted to because I bought him frozen food, and when he kicked me out, I can't use that while I'm homeless. So I had to ask him for his address. I told y'all yesterday that I believe he tried to cash my check. I never got my first check, which propelled me into paying. I paid rent for the next 3 months with every check. So I was behind for 3 months because of him. But anyway, when I started working there in my training class, Xavier, I told y'all that he liked to follow me around. He liked to ask for rides. He be bumming, man. He be doing bum shit. But he stayed 30 seconds away from the job, so it didn't even matter. I was like, yeah, I can take this nigga to the crib, I ain't tripping on that. But he always had me late and all this other stuff. I'm homeless. I can't afford to lose this job. Best job I've had in Atlanta at the time. There was this one day that I was walking. I think we was going to our break, our 15-minute break. And there's this woman who's sitting down. She had blonde hair. She had a dress on, like a flower dress, like a sundress. And she had I don't know what you call those things. It's like a jacket that stops right here, but it's made for style, and they wrap it up in a knot. So it's just fly, you know what I'm saying? It don't really keep you warm. So, and she was half Puerto Rican, half black, but she actually had some more other stuff she claims, like Dominican or something. But anyway, beautiful. Wasn't really my type, even though I am into Spanish girls, Puerto Ricans, or at least at the time. But she just wasn't really my type. She wasn't ugly. She was thick. But there's certain features that a lot of Spanish girls have that you really have to look. You have to have a lot of qualities about yourself for me to like you. And I didn't know the girl, so it was really no reason for me personally to like her like that. So, but she was a pretty girl. She really was. So we're leaving break. He said, damn, man, that girl's fine. I was like, yeah, she's straight. Excuse me. He's like, yeah, she's fine. He's really talking about this girl for some days, but this particular day is important. He says that. I entertained him for a little bit, really for 5 seconds. After our 15-minute break is over with, we're coming back. And this is what started it. As we're coming back, we can't talk to the people on the floor. We're not allowed to talk to them, supposedly. Not if you're in training and you're not on the floor, you cannot talk to people on the floor. And like I said, I had my graduation, my electrical engineering graduation suit on. Like, it was tailored. It was my first time ever having a tailored suit when I graduated. So remember, I'm homeless. I got to put on, like, we had to look nice. I didn't know how nice we had to look, but I would wear like that a lot and some other things. So I didn't look homeless at all. I made that shit look good as fuck, bro. I was still getting my hair did and all that shit. Smelling good, looking good. I was just homeless. And this place had a gym and a cafeteria. All I need to do was work out, take showers. I'm fucking good. I can come here anytime I want to, after hours too. So we're coming back from break. And he looks at her, walks up to the girl, says, "Hey, yo, he likes you." Laughs and continues to walk in training. And I'm thinking in my head, like, yo, what the fuck, bro? That shit wasn't cool. I never said I like this chick. I never said, yeah, she's pretty, but I never said I like this chick. Now she I went up to her because I was like, damn, you put me on the spot. Now I said, hey, how you doing? And she said, hey. And she was smiling from ear to ear, blushing. With her, she's so light-skinned, like bright light-skinned. You can tell when she's blushing. It's no hiding it with her. I told myself, damn, bro, I had to say something to her. No one can be like, yo, he likes you, and then you not say nothing. Just acknowledge the person. I was going to keep walking. So then I was like thinking to myself, that was fucked up, man. So my dumb ass, after I saw her blush, keep in mind, I was homeless for a month, and I had went through some things back at home to where I was sleeping on my couch. So I really had my own space in about 3-4 months. And as soon as she's blushed from ear to ear, I was like, you know, she is kind of cute. You know, humans, we funny, bro. Oh, yeah, she is kind of cute. Knowing damn well I ain't like the girl like that. But just because you think they like you, it's like, okay, you might like them a little more when you find out somebody like you and they not ugly. So I put on a note, because we can't talk to the people on the floor. I pull out a piece of paper. I write down, I say, can I have your number? And I put a yes and a no. And I put something like, hope I'm not bothering you. Can I have your number? Folded it up. When we went to like our next break, I passed it to her. And when I came back, she passed it back and her number was on there. So I was like, damn, that shit crazy. I may have told Xavier, I'm not sure, to be honest with you, because this was actually like 4 years ago, coming on 5 years. So I got her number, and that's probably the worst. I should have never did that. Should have never did it. There were some things I noticed about her. So we was about a week in the training, like 2 weeks in the training. But when we started getting to the floor, I can't remember how long training is, like 3 or 4 weeks. Maybe after the second or third week. But before that, we're texting. And I'm noticing that she has blue messages, like iPhones. iPhones have blue messages. But when she got off work, they turned green. And I'm thinking to myself, the first time it happened, I was like, something weird, you know. Went green, phone must have went dead or something. Next day, same thing. She texted me all throughout the day at work. All throughout the day. And then on our breaks, if they synced up, you know, we'll chill outside in the parking lot or something. It got to a point to where I didn't even know her like that on like the third or fourth day after I got her number, that I'd be off work or I'd be on my break and she'd come out there with me extending her break, knowing damn well she can't afford to get fired because she has, what I didn't know at the time, she had 3 kids and she didn't have a car and she had been through some things before I got there. So she really couldn't afford to just be, you know, late for breaks and all that other shit. But she you can't tell her shit. You can't tell her what to do. But I had a good time because I hadn't had a woman presence in a long, long time, and I'm homeless, and it's just nice to actually have a woman when not sleeping in a truck for a long fucking time in the heat and in the cold. So I was vulnerable. I have to admit, I was vulnerable. Like I said, her messages would go green when we got off work. Come back to work, they're back blue. So I'm thinking to myself after about a week or so, I'm like, is she blocking me? I'm like, when we get off work, is she blocking me? She must have something else going on. And we weren't official or nothing now. So when we got to the floor, we talked more, but we're talking like together, but as groups too, like coworkers and all that good stuff. And I remember this one day, I think I asked her for her Instagram. She gave me her Instagram, but she never followed back. And for me, following social media is not that big to me, but I have an app, and call it what you want, but I have an app, the followers, and I just hit one button and it unfollows everybody who's not following me back. I just don't like people making me a statistic, a part of their wanting to be popular ratio or whatever the fuck, followers to following ratio. So she gives me her Instagram. I'm looking at it at on my own time, like that same day, that same night or something. We're not official still. And I noticed a picture of a male, dreadhead, and it said Happy Father's Day. And it might have said Happy Father's Day, Poppy or Daddy or something. I don't think it said babe, but I was like, does she got a nigga? And then I thought about it. I was like, that's the baby daddy. So I see a picture of her baby daddy on her Instagram with like a bunch of other stuff. I don't think I saw any other pictures of him, just that one. And that one, Father's Day is in what, June? And this was like August. So this was close to 2 months later. So I had to do some critical thinking. I was like, okay, it might just be the baby daddy. I don't know. Niggas, use your brain. I'm just going to tell you, use your fucking brain. Because apparently I wasn't using mine all the way. So there's a few days later passed, still doing our thing. We'll fuck off in the parking lot on our breaks and stuff like that. Chatting, texting, messages still going green when she gets off. And she gets off a lot later than me. I got off at like 3 p.m. and she got off at like 9. So while she's at work, she's FaceTiming me and everything, breaking all types of work rules that she wouldn't normally do for people. But she be trying to put on in front for folks like she's cool and stuff. So like I said, a few days later passed, and then she brings up the fact that I never gave her my Instagram. And I was like, yeah, I did. I was like, is this? And you told me yours. And she said, oh, I forgot. And she did tell me she's forgetful. Like, she told me that, and I'm forgetful. My memory is bad, bro. I pray to God I don't have Alzheimer's, but if I did, which I'm not, knock on wood, but I wouldn't be shocked. Her memory's bad too. So I was like, yeah, I gave you my Instagram. We swapped it, And she kind of argued for a minute, not in a bad way, a little debate. I'm like, no, you didn't. I'm like, yeah, I did. This, and this. She's like, oh, it's crazy. So that's the second time we talked about her Instagram or whatever. So at that point, I was like, something going on. Like, what the fuck? She don't remember? It is what it is. I wasn't tripping. But then a few days after that, the third time, she brings it up again. And this is like mid-conversation with like coworkers and stuff. So it's not like we just bringing up Instagram. It's just like some coworkers may be talking about social media, and then she might be like, oh, yeah, you never gave me your... It's that type of shit. So the third time, I was like, yo, we've been through this like twice. You gave me your Instagram. It's this. You didn't follow back, but it's, it's this, and this. I don't know what's up with her memory, bro. So that third time, she followed me back, like maybe later on that day. And not only did she follow me back, she deleted the picture of her baby daddy. And I thought that was odd. I was like, wait. So she didn't remember us following each other for like the past week or so. We done talked about our Instagrams being swapped 3 times. And on the third time, you delete the picture of your baby daddy. So at the time, I'm gonna be honest, at the time, I was like, oh, they must have broke up. That's how I was thinking at the time. Drink break. Drink break, man. So she deleted the picture. So I should have just been like, fuck that shit. But in my mind, I was like, she broke up. We never talked about this nigga, by the way. So once she deletes the picture, I guess they kind of did break up. And I kind of welcomed myself in the lion's den because we met up. I don't remember how much later, but it was fairly soon. We would do like lunch dates at work, buy each other meals and stuff. But it was this one day that she invited me to her crib on the east side of Atlanta. She don't live there no more, so it don't matter. So I would drive, and she didn't know I was homeless. Well, I was in my loft at the time, paying back my late fucking rent. But, so she stayed on the east side. So what I'll do is when I get off work, I'll go home, take a nap, whatever the case is. She'll get off. She'll stay on the phone with me, FaceTime, because she got to take 2 trains and a bus. I didn't know nothing about the MARTA back then. I do now. I ride it all the time. But for her, she had to take 2 trains and a bus. And it's hard to take a bus from Marietta to the east side because there is no train in Marietta. So it's a little more difficult to maneuver. So it's really like she got to take a bus, 2 trains, and another bus just because it's Marietta. They don't want MARTA out there. I guess they don't want homeless people and stuff. But I didn't realize how long that took. So I'm on the phone FaceTime with her for like 2 hours. For her to get off buses and trains and stuff, because she got to pick up her kids and all types of stuff. She had 3 kids, but she only had 2 of them with her. I thought she only had 2. Whatever. Like, that makes a big difference. So as soon as she would get home, most of the time, she'll be like, all right, well, I got to handle like some of her baby daddy. Like, I think her baby daddy's mama was in her crib babysitting for her while she was at work. So she would never like stay on the phone while they're doing that little exchange. And I wouldn't ask her to. That's like personal. But it can make you raise your eyebrows a little bit. But I don't get in people's family stuff. So I was used to hanging up before she walked in the house and stuff like that. That's her personal life. And one day she invited me over. So I drove from my spot to her crib. And as I'm driving into the parking lot on the east side, there's a security dude, a white dude, like a rent-a-cop. He's like, who you here to see? And I say her name. And she's like, he says, oh, so-and-so and so-and-so. He says her name and her baby daddy's name. And I was like, yeah. And he was like, okay. Excuse me. I guess some crime had happened. And they're just trying to make sure they had everybody accounted for. That people visiting actually was visiting somebody there. So I pulled in. I parked. Text her. She says she's in there or whatever. She opens the door. I go in there and we do our thing. First night. And I had to wake up. She had to wake up at like 4 a.m. because her baby daddy's mom would always come in the house. She got a key. She would always come in the house, and get the kids or whatever. And then the girl I was talking to would leave for work, the cycle. We did our thing, and boy, I ain't gonna lie. That shit was good. It was good, man. It was good, man. I ain't had nothing in a while. Bruh. When women say broke niggas get the best dick, I don't know that for sure. But for my personal life, homeless dick give good dick. I was in that shit. I surprised myself. I was in that. I probably made it to her crib at like 10:30 p.m. We probably started doing our thing by 11:30 p.m., maybe 11 o'clock. And we didn't finish. I didn't even finish it was almost 4. So we've been going at it for like 4 hours, bro. I ain't never did that in my life. So I'm like, bro, but it was more like a challenge because there was certain moments while we was doing it, you could tell like it'd be like bring it on type shit. Nobody want to let up. It's like we're having sex, but at the same time, it's like I don't know, bro. It was wild, bro. It was awesome. So anyway, we did that. I had to leave because, like I said, it was becoming the time for her baby daddy's mom to come in, and that's when I realized, damn, we've been going at it for hours. I leave, and we continue on with we got our, I guess we're like kind of somewhat official. Black people don't never seem to like make it actually official. Like whenever you have sex, and like whenever you talking a lot on the phone, and the first time you had sex, that's when your relationship start. And if you don't know it start then, that second time, if you cuddling and shit and all that, bro, that's your relationship, bro. That's your official day. Black people don't never fucking know, but we know around this time is when we start our relationship. So we continue with our shit and everything. You know, we sending pictures to each other and all that. You know, a little sexy shit and all that. And it was another day where, well, before I get there, I had to learn something. I don't remember how I found this information. I know she told me, but I always wondered about why his name was on that lease. Why that security dude said his name. Because I was like, do they live together? It turns out that they did break up when she posted that picture of him. But that was the second time they broke up. The first time they broke up, they was together for like 2 years. And then they broke up before I even came to Atlanta because he got another girl pregnant. But you know how women are, bro. Women will take you back with a nigga cheat. Women will take you fuck back, bro. They don't have no shame about themselves. They'll leave you or whatever, get emotional and all that, but they'll take you back. He got another girl pregnant, and I guess she felt sorry for him because the girl he got pregnant had a stillborn. So, and that's traumatic shit, you know. So they got back together. And they broke up again when I came around in the picture. And like I said, if you fast forward, we did the nasty. You know, days after that, we're sending pictures to each other and all that good stuff. And like I said, his name was on the lease. So the reason his name was on the lease is this. That was actually his apartment. That was his apartment that I was at. Having sex with her in his apartment. Not hers, his. And they had gotten to a domestic dispute. They got in a big ass fight. He hit her several times, I guess, and she hit him. And I don't know. I wasn't there for it, but she said it was bad. And if you ask me, I think that I won't say she likes that, but I will say that I guess it was that toxic. I guess it was that bad to where they just fought. And that resulted in, I guess, possibly police. And it also resulted in a dispute of somebody had to leave the house. And usually when a domestic dispute happens, it's a male. But the problem was, even though he was in his apartment, he had put her on a lease while they was together. So technically it was both of their spot at that point. Then they came up with a custom contract saying they can't be in that apartment with each other together. The mother might have done that. I'm not sure. So when I was there smashing, if we're just going to be honest, he could have busted in at any time. He doesn't, yes, he technically lives there, and y'all made this custom contract that says he can't be there, but who's to say that this nigga will not come in his motherfucking apartment that he got and he started that lease before he added her on there? Who's to say that this nigga wasn't going to walk in on us? And I had no clue that their relationship was freshly broken. When she deleted that picture, I want to bet that that's what, in his mind, is she seeing another nigga? So I'm going to be honest with you. I could have died. It could have been like that Trouble situation, the rapper. It could have been a bad story for me. Smashing some girl, relationship shit, she cheating on him even though they broke up. And it's in his apartment. Like, come on, bro. If I had known the details of that, I wouldn't have been over there. But my dumb ass went over there again. Maybe 2 more times. So anyway, there was a day, and this was like a month down the line later. So we're like together for like a month, for a month. Like I said, we were sending pictures to each other and all types of stuff. You know how I get, man. You know how I get. And there was this day that she had like texted me or something. So remember I said she takes a bus and 2 trains and a bus to get home. Some days what I would do is I would go to the gym, but most days when I get off, I'll go to the gym, I'll take a shower, and by that time she's getting off work. And I would drive her to the train station to save her from the bus. It would save a lot of time for her because you got to wait on the bus, and then the bus makes so many stops, and then in Marietta, it's so far from a train station. So I would save her a lot of time. Sometimes I would drive her to her crib, but that was so far. So most time I was like, yo, I have to take you to the train, take you to 5 Points, which she's still grateful for that. But there was this one day, she texted me. She said, can you call me or something like that? I called her because I'm at my apartment. And she said, he saw a picture of you. What you mean he saw a picture of me? I'm thinking like, what kind of... I'm thinking in my head like, damn... The only pictures I really sent you was like freaky shit. And it wasn't no crazy shit. Well, to him, it'll be some crazy shit. But to me, it was like, I ain't really like show what people wanted. I ain't show my dick. You know, it's just, we was fucking off on FaceTime and shit. So, I'm like, what the fuck you mean he saw a picture of you? She said that when they were doing the baby swap in the apartment, that she went in the bathroom. And I guess she came out of the bathroom and left her phone in the bathroom. And he saw her phone, went through it, and saw pictures of me. And I'm like, fuck. And she had called me to ask if she could stay at my crib for the night. I'm like, yeah, of course. So, and I think he took his daughter with him. And I think that her son was with her mama or something like that. Or his mama. I don't know. So then I'm kind of like paranoid. So I'm like, damn, bro, I kind of got some shit I ain't really want to get in. So I pick her up from the train station. She's looking sad and shit. Take her to my crib. It was actually a very good night. It was more of a mental connection type of night. It felt more like a relationship that night. But women have such a power within themselves to control men. Pussy is power, bro. And I ain't gonna lie, I enjoyed her at my crib. I really did. And that next morning we got up because I had to get up early. My job starts at 6. Hers starts at 9 or something like that, or 10. And I was like, this is real early for you. You sure you want to come this early? She was like, yeah. So we get up at like 4. We go get some McDonald's. It was like great even though he saw a picture of me, that was a really great night for me just to spend time with her because we hadn't had that. I was so used to her blocking me and so used to me coming over there just for us to have sex that I didn't, and it wasn't a lot that we had sex at their crib. We probably did it, I don't know, about 3-4 times. Well, at the time it was like 2-3 times, like maybe like 2 times, maybe 2, 1 for sure. So we go to work and it was great, man. It was real great. I got into work. She slept in my truck. She came in, regular day, back again. I enjoyed my night. And then a fateful day came. Not too long after that, making sure my audio still works. This was the fateful day. We had planned a lunch date, like a dinner date. I would go pick up the food after I worked out. When I got off work, come back in, we'll eat. It was like fried rice and shrimp and all types of stuff. While I was at work, the managers are gone. When the managers are gone, it's fun. I sat there, even though I was off, we ate. It was a great time. And then she had told me already that her sister was coming to pick her up. Because she was supposed to have like some fun sister weekend or something. And her sister had like a kind of a rocky relationship. So it was going to be kind of good for her to kick it with her because they was trying to mend stuff, I guess. And So I left, and I think I went to work out. I can't remember what I went to do. And I'm in my truck, and I'm about to pull out the parking lot. And I see her walking out the door. And so I roll my window down as I'm pulling out, and I was just one last bye. All right, girl, see you later. She looks at me. Then she looks behind my truck. So if I'm driving, I'm pulling to the right. She's to my left, like, I don't know, 100 feet away. 100 feet away, something like that. I don't even know how far 100 feet is. Like 30 yards. She looks behind my truck and eyes wide, screams really loud. No! I know it's dramatic. No! Loud as fuck. Like, we're at work. Loud as shit. And as she's saying no, this whole thing's going through my mind in slow motion. I see a man, hoodie like this, walking calmly and slowly from behind my truck to my window on the driver's side. And the whole time it's happening so slow, but it's like within like 2 to 3 seconds, maybe 5 seconds. The whole time, it's not like I'm worried who this is because I know he's coming at me, but I was like, I know this face somewhere. The whole time I'm trying to put together, who is this nigga? And right before he came to my window, I was like, oh, that's her baby daddy. Because I remembered the picture on Instagram. I couldn't put his picture together till he got real close. And while I'm trying to recollect who this nigga is, remember, this is happening fast. I was like, who the fuck is this nigga? And I'm scanning his whole body to make sure he ain't got no weapon. And he ain't had no knife, no gun, or nothing. Here's the problem with this story. I always keep knives on me. I always keep weapons on me. And it just so happens that this day I didn't have my knife. Because when he walked up to my window, he grabs my shirt. Right through the window. Grabs my shit and swings. Misses. This is no bullshit. I don't know how you miss swinging on somebody when they're right there in your face in a truck window. But he grabs me and he misses. This happens like half a second. My truck's still running. I got my foot on the brake. I grab his shirt and I swing on him. So it's real fast. Grab me, grab him, popped him in the nose. I don't enjoy fights like that, man. I really don't. I don't enjoy fights. I try to stay out of fights. I do got a temper when it's time, but all I'm knowing is somebody that I barely really don't know is mad, I guess, and we're in a fight. So after I hit him, he's still grabbing my shirt. I break his nose. I didn't know that at the time. I break his nose, but he's still grabbing me. So I hit the gas. I slam on the gas so my truck pulls forward, so he has no choice but to let go unless he wants to start dragging on getting dragged on the concrete ground. He lets go. It starts raining. Bad. Well, maybe like kind of bad. I'm just seeing red at this point. Because I'm thinking I got set up. I put that bitch in reverse. And as soon as I put that bitch in reverse, this nigga's behind my truck, grabs his baby mama, the girl I'm talking to, as if he knows I'm about to try to run them over. And it's more like a mental thing. It's like, if you got to run me over, you got to run her over. And in my mind, I'm like, fuck it. Gas that motherfucker. Skirt. My shit ain't doing nothing. My truck hydroplanes. My truck does not do good when it's wet. I play very. It's not like extremely dangerous when you're driving, but if you drive like these crazy ass people, these youngsters and stuff, and these people in these big cities, you're gonna wreck. Fucking with my truck in the rain. You have to drive calmly. You have to do the speed limit. When you see a big ass puddle, you got to try to either dodge it, or when you in a puddle, you just gotta let it ride. Don't fight the steering wheel. Don't do none of that shit. Just let it ride for for 1-2 seconds, and you can go on about your life. If you try to gas it or brake it when you're driving in some water in my truck, you're gonna fucking wreck. That's why I don't let people drive my shit. So back to the story. Hit that motherfucker. He grabs her like you got to run us both over, which is really fucked up, bro. You came to our job that you don't work here, and you start an altercation with me, and now I'm gonna run you over, but you grab your baby mama? Like, that's fucked up. You grab your baby mama to get hit with you? I don't have no ties to y'all. I can hit both of y'all niggas and not feel bad about this shit. My truck made out of iron too. It ain't made out of this plastic shit with these other cars. So I gas it. Tires don't do shit. Just smoke in the fucking air. I hop out. And as soon as I hop out, I think my shit's still running. I put that bitch in park. I hop out mad as fuck. I got like a white beater or tank top on and shit. I know I'm kind of skinny. I was kind of this size, but I was like more cut up because I was in the gym. And I was just ready to get active, bro. And I'm damn near running, like power walking behind the truck to get to him. I never saw the security come out of our work building. Big ass dude, like 6'5", 240 pounds, something like that. It's like he looked more like an ex-NFL player or ex-college player. He's not swole, but you can tell he'll manhandle the fuck out of you. Like nigga, he probably ain't hit the gym in a while, but he will toss your nigga ass. As I try to walk up to a baby daddy like fast, cause I'm ready to fight. I'm yelling and shit. Fucking security, he know me. He know I'm a good dude. I don't never cause problems or nothing like that. He don't want me to do nothing crazy. I can't get past security. Security's grabbing me and shit, trying to pull me back. I'm running off straight adrenaline. I got this fucking close to the nigga, bro. I was so close. I was this close to fucking dude up, bro. But I couldn't get to him. This wasn't no NBA game where niggas was pushing around. I was ready to fight, bro. Man. After I found to secure him and another security dude wouldn't let me fucking get close to this nigga. I was close. I was giving security a hard day because they told me about it. I hop back in my whip, put that bitch in drive. I hit a circle because there's another entrance to the parking lot. I don't know what I was thinking, but I hit a circle. No one seen the cops come to get to him, thinking that's just going to bypass security. It's just going to take me to the same spot I was just at, just on the other side of the people. I hop out. Now it's all these police lights. It's this SUV and fucking cars, like 3, 4, 5 cop cars out there, white people and Mexicans. They question him. And then they question me. And they question her. And fuck this Mexican cop, because I thought Mexicans believed in the minority shit. But this dude apparently thought he was a higher power or a white man. He's asking me what happened, and I'm lit. I'm pissed. I'm mad. I'm telling this story as if I want to kill this nigga. Not knowing that when you're talking to police, you don't do that shit. But I thought it was obvious that, yo, I work here, she works here. He does not work here. This is obvious. Obvious. That nigga. Get that nigga, man. But the police was looking at me like I was the problem, because I was the only one mad. I was the only one cutting up. And then people was telling the police that I drove around to try to fuck them up, which I did, but I kind of lied to the police about that one. And the Mexican dude laughed at me. When I told him my story, he laughed at me, and that pissed me off. And I talked to him like I was going to fuck him up. And her boss, because me and her have different bosses, her boss is cooler than mine. My boss is fucking a stick in the mud. She's like the principal on recess. But her boss is a gay dude, and he showed love. So the gay dude was like telling me, yo, bro, don't say this around the police, bro. Don't say that. Like, you got to calm down. They're going to get you. They're going to lock you up. And so I'm like trying my best to calm down and shit. They're like, you want to press charges? I'm like, I don't even know what the fuck this process is. Do I got to go to court, nigga? Because I'm not trying to go to court. I'm not trying to go to no police station. Like, I don't like the police like that. I don't. Does pressing charges have any type of steps that's going to involve me in rooms with legal people? Because I'll pass. I'm homeless. I smoke weed. I ain't got time. I feel like I'm set up. And so ultimately I was like, yeah, if all I got to do is say yes, then yes. Cool. I'll press charges. All right. So then I end up going about my way, pissed off. I stop at a gas station and she calls me. And I'm letting her ass have it. I'm cussing her the fuck out and all types of shit. And she's crying her eyes out. And as soon as the police came, her sister pulled in to pick her up. So her alibi was, my sister is coming to pick me up. He was not supposed to pick me up. He told the police that he told me the police he was coming because he was worried about her. Or something like he heard she was in trouble, something like that. But it didn't explain why he was at the job. Okay, you're trying to explain why you're fighting with me, but it never his explanation never explained why he drove to her workplace. The problem with this story was he had previous encounters with her in situations at this job. The security already knew him. So I don't know if the security was trying to show him love too or whatever the case was, but I'll tell you a quick story on why they know him. Her and him got into a situation while they were together before I got into Atlanta, away from the job. So this bitch ass nigga, first of all, he was helping take care of her son from another nigga, her deadbeat daddy's son, and his daughter that he had with her. She has 3 baby daddies. So the first baby daddy is a deadbeat. She has a son by him. The second baby daddy is this dude, daughter by him. Third baby daddy, he don't even want his son around her because of the second baby daddy. So that's why I only thought she had 2 kids. But apparently in a situation before, they got in an argument or whatever the case was. And I guess this nigga felt like, yo, this ain't even my fucking son. And he drops her son off at the job in the parking lot. Didn't tell nobody or nothing. He dropped her son, not his son, her son in the parking lot and didn't tell nobody in hot ass Georgia. Her son was like 5 at this time, maybe 6. Just a youngin'. And somebody saw her son in the parking lot, like security, going around asking people, yo, whose kid is this? And at the time, she was kind of new to the place, to her workplace. And she was shocked. She was like, my son? Like, you left my son? And so they had a lot of situations. And security seen him pick her up from work just like I was picking her up from work. I guess security was looking at me crazy because when me and her started talking, they probably had him in mind, like, oh shit, she must have broke with her baby dad or something. Security might have seen this shit coming. Even my own boss was telling me leave this girl alone, like after shit started happening, after this whole police situation. But I let her have it. She's the one who told me that his nose was broke and all this other stuff, and that was our situation on that. My dumb ass stayed with her. My dumb ass stayed with the girl, bro. Like we was done. I was done with her, but like, man, something about pussy, bro. Something about a girl crying, all that. Like, we was broke up for like a week. I'm seeing her walk in the rain at work, head down, dressed down. She don't dress up at work no more. Just sad, and I'm pissed. I ain't gonna lie, that girl got some sex appeal about her, man. Cause there'll be days where she. First of all, before I even get there, she had to put in a statement to her work where she was going to lose her job and she was possibly going to press charges on her, something like that, for being an accomplice. She was about to be an accomplice to what he did because I said I was going to press charges. So she had to tell them, that he wasn't supposed to be there, and she had to also do a restraining order on him. So if she didn't do the restraining order, she was an accomplice. But anyway, my dumb ass took her back. And after seeing her sad, walking through the rain and shit, and then we're at work. We're not even supposed to be talking to each other. My boss said don't fuck with her. And there'll be days where she'll just come. And we got this little couch thing by our call center desk, comfortable thing. And she just sat there and she was like kicking it with me. And I'm looking at her pissed. And I couldn't even be mad, bro. Like, after, like, a week or so, bro, she just kept coming around. She knew she was wrong. And, we started it back, man. So there's more to this story. That's the bad part. That's the real bad part. There's more to it. There's more to it. So we'll stop there. And I hope y'all enjoyed it so far. And maybe tomorrow I'll get back to the story. It seems like a slow news week, man, except for Matt Barnes spitting on somebody today. Well, on the Cowboys game. At the Cowboys game. So, yeah. Anyway, it's your boy Dee Brown, a.k.a. Bruce D. I'm glad y'all kicked it with me and glad y'all listened to me, man. Worst job ever when I came to Atlanta, but it's the worst job ever, period, man. We're going to start from after the fight and when we broke up and got back together. Deuces.